Si van a hacer a 9, si es de 7 innings, va completo. Entonces puede irse entre 11 y medio. Ah, bueno, sí, sí.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Well, good evening or good afternoon or good morning, depending on what part of the world you live at. We're officially getting started for the World Cup of Baseball, the final game, the championship game between the teams from Cuba and the Netherlands. After a 4-hour rain delay, after a day filled with a lot of rain, plenty of gloomy weather, dark day here in Panama City, Cuba will start the bat in the top of the first inning. Top of the first inning, and batting for Cuba is Rusney Castillo, he's batting 512. He's got a 512 average for the tournament. He plays center field, grounder up to the mound. Good throw to first base, and first batter retired in the top of the first inning. So we score that 1-3 officially. Castillo grounds to the pitcher. I want to welcome everybody who want to welcome all you baseball fans around the world. This is Juan Carlos Boyd. You can call me JC Boyd. I originally here from Panama, and we're live from Rod Carew Stadium. There's a grounder down the third base line and foul ball. Cuba enters this final game as the clear-cut favorite. They're the typical powerhouse baseball team in the world. Internationally, they become a dynasty practically. For the Netherlands. You can see Robbie Cordemans. He's pitching for the Dutch. For this World Baseball Championship, he's 2-0 with a 2.92 ERA in 2 starts, 12 and a third innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and he's permitted 15 hits in the games that he has appeared at. Hitting now for Cuba is Alexei Bell. He hits a deep fly ball down to right field. Right fielder is there, and no problem. Second out of the inning. Very well played by Danny Rombley, who's playing right field tonight for the Netherlands. Defensively, in the outfield, Dwayne Kemp is playing left field. Kalian Sams is playing center field, and Danny Rombley is playing in right field for the the orange team. They're playing defense. They're playing at home. They're the team with the best record, although both teams ended up with the same record in the second round, 6 wins and 1 loss for the Netherlands and 6 wins and 1 loss for the Cuban team. Now up to bat, Frederick Cepeda, who's a well-known big-time baseball player. He switch hits. He bats lefty, bats righty. He's officially the DH for this game. He wears number 24 for the Cuban team. Cuba wearing the traditional red uniform, and the Netherlands, as you can see, white top and white pants, white uniforms for the orange team. For those of you who are watching us internationally throughout the IBAF world feed, you can officially send your messages via Twitter. I'll give you my Twitter account, JC Boyd with a D at the end, _sport360. Wheels and deals, and another strike, another fastball right down the pipe. Nothing you can do for Frederick Cepeda. Big time player, this Cuban DH who's 30 years old. He's hitting 400 for the tournament. Nice curveball, but breaks a little low for Robbie Cordemans. Robbie Cordemans, like I said, he's had 2 starts in this tournament. He's 2-0 with a 2.92 ERA. Looking a lot like Bert Blyleven on the mound. There's a high fly ball down the third base line that's gonna bounce into the stands. A foul ball here by Frederick Cepeda. Well-known and highly regarded baseball player, power hitter. He can, like I said, he's a switch hitter. He hits lefty, he hits righty. He's obviously hitting left-handed against a right-handed pitcher against Robbie Cordemans. We're in the top of the first inning. 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's 2 away. Top of the first inning. Change up, and he swings and misses, and he strikes out. Top of the first inning concluded. We're going to take a small break, and we'll be right back.
Les espera, presentó este episodio. Julie Sport Center, donde todo es original. Nos espera que los Andes, los pueblos, el Dorado, el Rumor, Brasil, Sormetro y ahora, en Paseo Central de Chipre. Me voy claro, ya te Elizabeth Pache.
We have the starting lineup for the Netherlands team. Dwayne Kemp is hitting first, playing left field. The shortstop, Marquison Gregorius, is playing in the shortstop, batting second. Sidney De Jong is a catcher, batting third. The cleanup hitter would be Kurt Smith, who's really having a monster tournament for the Netherlands team. DH is Brian Engelhardt. He's going to be the DH for this game. He's hitting 5th in the order. Then you got Charlene Shoop and Jonathan Shoop, the 2 brothers Shoop, who are hitting 6 and 7. The 8th hitter will be playing center field. And then Rombley is playing in right field, hitting 9th. Defensively, Cuba with Despaign, Castillo, and Bell in the outfield. And you have the alignment for the national team. Uleski Gonzalez. That's the tonight's starter for this final matchup for the World Cup IBAF Championship, live from Panama City, Panama. That's a record. Those are his numbers for Uleski Gonzalez. He's 1-0 with a 1.59 ERA in 1 start. He's had 10 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings. His only appearance was against against South Korea. He'll be facing He'll be facing Dwayne Kemp, Marcuson Gregorius, and Sidney De Jong. First, second, and third hitters for the Netherlands in the bottom of the first inning. He wheels and deals, and a little bit on the inside. Fastball by Gonzalez. Good speed, just a little bit inside. 1 ball, 1 strike for Dwayne Kemp, who plays left field. Batting in the bottom of the first inning. He squares a bunt, and he swings and misses here, trying to a surprise bunt in the bottom of the first inning. I'm going to be giving you a little rundown of of how each team got to the final game. Cuba, who ended up winning 10 of its 11 games in this 2011 World Baseball Cup. They went 7-0 in the first round, the Cuban team. They beat the Aussies 14-0. They beat the Dominican Republic 3-0. Venezuela, they didn't have any problems with the Venezuelan team. 14-2 was the score. South Korea 4-1. Italy fell to Cuba 5-1. Germany 8-2, and Nicaragua fell 6-0. There's a contact. There's another foul ball. Julieski Gonzalez is at the mound for the Cuban national team, the team with the 25 World Championships. Cuba has finished in the top 30 times of the 38 World Baseball Cups that have been held. There's a small chopper down the third base line. That's going to roll dead, and it's going to be a base hit. That's going to be the first hit of the game for Dwayne Kemp. He hit it off the end of the bat. Slow roller down the third base line. The pitcher tried to let it go foul, but the grass is a little humid. It's been raining all day. The grass should be a little humid. You see the replay here where the pitcher just let it go and the ball just kept inside the lines. It's going to be an infield hit. An infield hit for Dwayne Kemp. Bottom of the first inning, and now up Marcuson Gregorius, who plays shortstop. 265 average. He's got a double, a home run, and three RBIs in this tournament for the Holland team, for Netherlands. A lot of the players for the Netherlands teams, there's a few that are actually born in the Netherlands, from Rotterdam, from Haarlem, from Amsterdam, but they got quite a few players from the Netherlands Antilles, from Curaçao. He squares a bunt, and the bunt is foul. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0, Cuba against the Netherlands for the World Baseball Final. Both teams played almost a perfect first round. Cuba ended up undefeated, 7-0 in the first round. Holland went 6-1 in the first round. Waiting for the sign, the pitcher waits. 0-1 the pitch, and swing and miss. Good looking slider there by Julieski Gonzalez. Left-handed pitcher has a responsibility tonight to win one more for the Cuban team. Cuba and the Netherlands are two teams that have seen each other quite a few times recently. They've seen each other in the World Baseball Classic. They've also been in the World Port Tournament, in the Intercontinental Cup. He tried to check his swing. The umpire says he crossed the bat, and it looks like he just struck out. Here's the slider. He tried to check his swing, and from this angle, it looked like he was very close, to checking his swing, but the umpire said no, and so he strikes out, and now up for Team Netherlands is Sidney De Jong. He's only hitting 156. He's got a homer. He's got four RBIs in the tournament. Sidney De Jong, who's hitting third, and he's playing catcher, number 24 for the Netherlands team. Still lots of rain here in Panama City. It's been a well-attended tournament. It started on the 1st of October. We're already on the 15th, and on schedule tonight, we're going to find out who's going to be lifting the World Baseball Championship Cup. Cuba is the heavily favored team, and Holland has been like somewhat of a surprise. Some of us knew that the team had good talent and good depth pitching wise. It's a team that doesn't hit for average, but it does have occasional power. They hit 12 home runs in the tournament, the Netherlands team. They got to the final based on strong pitching, good base running, and a knack for hitting in the clutch. Hitting at the moment is Sidney De Jong, catcher for the orange team. There's a time called here. Ariel Pestano is a catcher for the Cuban team. ARRUEBARRUENA is number 71. He's played shortstop for the Cubans. First base is Jose Abreu, and second base Uleski GOURRIEL, and third base Michel Enriquez. And playing shortstop, Barbaro ARRUEBARRUENA is hitting. He's playing shortstop. It looks like the speed gun here at the Rod Carew Panamanian National Stadium here in Panama City, Panama. 1-0 the count, and straight down the pipe. It looked like a good strike to me. And the umpire just called the first strike. 1-1 the count for Sidney De Jong. Sidney De Jong, who originally was born in Amsterdam. He played for the Netherlands team in the 2004 Olympics. He's also played for the Orange team in the. He played for the World Baseball Classic in 2009. Played his college ball in southern Idaho, and is recently had been playing in the minor leagues. Single A ball in the minor leagues for Sidney De Jong. Catcher has the signs. Pitcher takes his time. Wind up and a little high on the fastball. A little high here. 3-1 to count for Sidney De Jong. Cuba against Holland for the final, for the World Baseball Final. 2011 World Baseball Championship. A lot of rain. We had to wait about 4 hours. There was like a 4-hour rain delay. Scheduled time, local time for the game was 5 o'clock. We had to wait 4 hours. The rain just didn't want to play a part in the final game. We've been delayed for 4 hours, but now everything looks like possibly. The Lord, God save us, is going to be on our side, and hopefully we're going to get 9 innings tonight and finish strong this World Baseball Cup. There's a throw to second base, and safe at second. Stolen base here for Dwayne Kemp, who just took off running on a 3-1 count. Let's see it once again. High throw. And he got there plenty in time. The second baseman, GOURRIEL, just wasn't there to cover the bag. So officially, that's a stolen base for Dwayne Kemp. He got on base with a slow roller down the third base line, and now trying to play a little aggressive here. The orange team. Stolen base, and now we have a runner in scoring position. Number 7. Dwayne Kemp hitting is Sidney De Jong. Swings and misses. And he strikes out here for the second out in the bottom of the first inning. Big time pitch here. Gonzalez. Pitch up in the zone, a little outside, and through the raindrops here, De Jong just swings and misses. And it's out number 2 in the bottom of the second inning. Bottom of the first inning, pardon me. Up to bat now is Curt Smith. Look at those numbers, 351 average. He's got 3 home runs, 4 doubles, 13 RBIs. He's been one of the best hitters in the tournament. He's definitely one of the best hitters that the Orange team has had the whole World Baseball Cup. Dangerous hitter up to bat for the Dutch. Curt Smith, originally from Williamstad, Curaçao. He's 25 years old. He's played a little in the minor leagues with the Cardinals organization. Also played his college ball for the Maine Bears. So he's played in the U.S. for the University of Maine. He's also played in the minor leagues with the St. Louis Cardinal organization, and he's an up-and-coming, good-looking baseball player for the Netherlands. He's hitting big-time player. He's number 2 in runs scored. He's number 1 in RBIs, and he's also tied for second in home runs. He's hit 3 out of the park in the tournament. He was drafted 39th he was drafted in the 39th round in the draft, the Major League draft in 2008. Hitting 4th tonight for the Netherlands. Gonzalez with a strike down the pipe. 0-1 the count to Curt Smith. Remember, for those who want to send a message, those who want to send your questions, or you want to send some comments, you can write me directly through Twitter, JCBoyd_Sport360. Pitcher wheels and deals and just a bit outside. Throwing a lot of fastballs here in the first inning, taking his time. A lot of rain has come down here in Panama City. It's just, it's really fortunate for us that we finally got this started right around 9 o'clock. Right, 9 o'clock in the evening. Another fastball, swings and misses. He was thinking fence with that swing, huh? He crossed him with a 90+ mile an hour fastball. The rain keeps on coming down in Panama City. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's 2 away. Bottom of the first inning. Hitting for the Netherlands team is Curt Smith. Pitcher winds up. He throws from the stretch. Little low on that pitch, huh? Looks like he's trying to somehow trick him into biting on a knee-high slider that he's trying to basically keep it down in the zone. A lot of respect for Curt Smith. He's really had a very good tournament, solid tournament for this player born in Curaçao. There's a foul ball. Two balls and 2 strikes in the bottom of the first inning. Here's another angle. Good speed for the lefty for the Cuban team. Two balls and 2 strikes, 2 away, and here's the windup. Just a bit outside. Gonzalez, that's the lefty who's pitching tonight for the Cuban team. He's only had 1 start in the tournament. He had the opportunity to beat South Korea. There's a grip. Let's see if he switches a grip. Pitchers tend to try to hide somehow the grip on the ball. Runner really making it difficult for the pitcher in this inning. 3-2 the count. Full count for Kurt Smith up to bat. Fourth the hitter, cleanup hitter for the Dutch team. Here's a foul ball, line drive down the first base line. Well, yeah, this tournament started October the 1st. Now taking 15 days to decide which two teams we're gonna basically fight for the title of being the best team in this tournament. The Netherlands team has been basically not hitting collectively very well. They've only been hitting 251 as a team, but Kurt Smith has been hitting 351. He's one of the players that have been carrying well. He lost it here, up in the zone, and there's a walk. There's a walk for Kurt Smith. And the Dutch team will have runners in first and second with two away in the bottom of the first inning. And now we get a chance to see the DH, Brian Engelhardt. He'll be coming at the bat, hitting .417 with 2 dingers, a triple, 3 doubles, 9 RBIs in this Baseball World Cup. Let's see if the Netherlands somehow fabricate and produce a couple runs here against Cuba in the bottom of the first inning. The Cuban team that comes into this last game with collectively with a 2.02 ERA. They've had a heck of a tournament, huh? Great pitching staff. I'll be talking about them in a little bit. There's a foul ball, another souvenir for the fans. Their pitching staff, 2.02 ERA in 89 innings so far, 94 strikeouts, only 15 walks. That's a 6-to-1 ratio. And their opponent averages, they average hitting only 218 against the Cuban pitching in this World Baseball Championship or World Baseball Cup, IBAF, International Baseball Federation. There's another 5 ball. I already have somebody in the pen warming up. Let's see if I see the number. Can't actually see it from this distance. So they already have somebody up in the pen. Cuba not taking any chances. They know how important this game is. They're shooting for gold. Whoever wins tonight wins a gold medal and wins the title for the World Baseball Championship. Whoever loses will end up second place. Swing and misses, and he just struck out. Catcher tags him out, and the bottom of the first inning comes to an end. 2 left on base for Netherlands. 0-0 after 1 inning. We'll be right back.
Increíble, aún mejor para asegurar tu vida que Internacional de Seguros. Con su seguro de vida temporal Flex y una mensualidad de solo 10 balboas. Adquiere llamando al 206-4000. Ya volvemos. Las piezas que su auto necesita las tenemos aquí. Parabrisas y carrocerías. 261-9311.
Well, we're heading into the top of the second inning. Score 0-0 for now. Only 1 hit was hit. It was an infield hit for Dwayne Kemp on a slow roller down the third base line. Now up for Cuba, Alfredo Despaign. This is a big-time player, big-time hitter. He's coming into this game hitting .351. He plays left field. He's hitting cleanup. Big-time players. He's been home run champion in the Cuban National Series. Has lots of experience. He's played basically for Cuba in the Pan American Games, World Baseball Classic, World Baseball Championships. You name it, Intercontinental Cup. He's been part of the team for a long time. Great player. Alfredo Despaign. one of the biggest hitters, one of the most powerful hitters. He can hit it out of the park at any time. Loves crushing fastballs. 0-2 from swing and misses up high, and he goes down and he strikes out Alfredo Despaign. Nice pitch here by Robbie Cordemans. Basically straight down the pipe. Fastball, 90 plus. A little high, belt high basically. And he just couldn't make any contact. Alfredo Despaign goes down swinging. And now up for the Cuban team, GOURRIEL. 297 average. He's got a double, 2 home runs in the tournament, 11 RBIs. He's one of the players with the most amount of RBIs in this tournament for the Cuban national team. A once heralded big-time prospect. Some scouts say he's the best player on the team. Yulieski Gourriel is his name. Son of former Cuban player Lourdes Gourriel. Highly regarded player out from the Cuban team. There's a drive, a deep drive to center field, way back, and center fielder's there with no problem. He put a good swing into it, just through the raindrops and a little wind that's been picking up. It just it's pretty hard to hit it out of the park down the center field. This park is like 400 feet down center field, and it's like a valley, so it's basically the ball tends to die as soon as it hits the center field airspace. So good contact, just not where you're supposed to hit it in this park. Now up, Jose Dariel Abreu, another big-time player here. This Cuban team is filled with Cuban all-stars. He's 6'3", 240, and he's only 24 years old. He's hitting .475. He's hit 3 home runs, and he's got 8 knocks, and he just got plunked. He got hit right over the elbow, I think. He couldn't get out of the way. I don't think he was waiting. I think perhaps he thought the ball was going to break. Just hit him right over the forearm, I think. Nasty hit, man. He's going to be tended to by the Cuban trainer. He's been the MVP. He's been the home run champion in Cuba. And he just recently fell short of a 3,000 season in the national series for Cuba. In Cuba, in the last regular season, he hit .453 with 33 home runs and 93 RBIs. He fell short of becoming only a third Cuban baseball player ever to hit 30 home runs and knock in 100 runs in a regular season in the Cuban national series. He gets hit here in the forearm. A little wild here, losing a little control here for number 19, big righty, Robbie Cordemans. Robbie Cordemans, like I said, he's originally from Schiedam in the Netherlands. I want to send a big hello in my well wishes to all the fans of the Orange team, all those people who are listening and watching the game through the IBAF international feed. Now up for Cuba, Michel Enriquez. He's only hitting .211. He's playing third base tonight. He's hitting 6th in the lineup. Excuse me, he's hitting 7th. Michel Enriquez, another big-time veteran with a lot of experience, a lot of international experience. He's been very good for a very long time for the Cubans. Hits a foul ball, straight back. Like I said, this big time righty, Robbie Cordemans, has some sort of a resemblance. I don't know if it's a beard or maybe his mechanics, but he reminds me a little of Bert Blyleven, who obviously is also of Dutch descent. And you may remember him when he used to play for the Minnesota Twins back in the 80s. Bert Blyleven, who actually also was the pitching coach for the Dutch in the last World Baseball Classic back in 2009. There's some Dutch fans in the crowd, huh? Everybody cheering on their favorite team. Netherlands against Cuba. Top of the second inning. We're tied at 0. A ball and 2 strikes of Michel Enriquez down in the dirt here. Gotta think that maybe the humidity, maybe the moisture on the ball, perhaps it could become somewhat of an obstacle, especially on the grip of the ball for the pitchers. Haven't seen too many breaking balls in these first 2 innings. Cordeman prepares, he winds up, he deals, and there's a fly ball down the third base line in foul territory. Waiting, and with no problem, Jonathan Schupp takes care of that pop-up. 1.5 innings, and we're still tied at 0 runs. We'll be right back.
Ingresa a m.inseguros.com y accesa. Descarga, consulta. Recuerda, al finalizar el partido, manténgase apreciando el acto de clausura. Ya volvemos.
Esto es lo que se llama
Well, welcome back, folks, and once again, we'll welcome you to this year's version of the IBAF World Baseball World Cup Final. Pitching for Cuba, on the mound, Uleski Gonzalez. On the mound for the Cuban team. He winds up, he deals, it looked like a curveball that stayed up high. Hitting for the Dutch team, Charlen Schupp, that plays second base. He's hitting only 156. He's got a home run. He's got 4 RBIs. He's the one who's hitting for the Dutch team. The brothers Schupp, they play second base and third base for this Dutch team. Charlen Schupp is the older of the two. He's 24 years old. Originally from Curacao, and he was signed by the San Francisco Giants. He's playing in the minor leagues with the San Francisco Giants. He was also part of the World Baseball Classic team in 2009. Another up-and-comer for the Dutch team. Charlen Schupp plays plays second base, and his brother Jonathan plays third base. 2-2 the count, and down low. Full count now for Shoop, 3-2. Looks like he's taking a lot of time. Gonzalez. Full count here for Shoop. Top of this. There's a ground ball, slow ground ball. The third baseman grabs it and he makes a nice throw. And Shoop goes down 5-3. 2-2 ground ball to third base. Nice play there by Michel Enriquez. I don't think the shortstop would have had any chance to get him out. The third baseman really had to take charge. Picked it up cleanly and made a nice throw to first base. Now up for the Dutch team is younger brother, Jonathan Shoop. Wears number 16. He's playing third base. Jonathan Shoop, also from Curacao. He's 6 feet 1 inch tall. He weighs about 190 pounds. He's only 19 years old. But as you can see, he's playing on the. He's a starter for the team in the most important game of the year for them. He was signed by the Baltimore Orioles, and he's also playing in the minor leagues. He plays single A ball for the Orioles in the minors. Gonzalez looking for the outside corner, just doesn't break enough that ball. 2 balls and 1 strike for Shoop. So these Shoop brothers are trying to do what other brother tandems have done in the United States, in the U.S., playing in the big leagues, like the Drew brothers, J.D. Drew and Jason Drew, or like the Uptons, B.J. Upton and Justin Upton, who had an outstanding year with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's probably going to be one of the strong candidates for the MVP of the National League. It'd be something if both brothers came up at the same time, both Charlene Shoop and Jonathan Shoop. Well, they just that was the automatic strike for Shoop, huh? He's trying to work his way on base. Inside pitch that just caught the inside corner. Three and two to Jonathan Shoop. There's a sinking line drive. One bouncer to GOURRIEL, no problem. And he retires the second batter in the bottom of the second inning. 2 away, 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. Cuba playing defense here against the team from the Netherlands. Now up for the Dutch team, Kalian Sams. He's only hitting 208. Kalian Sams. He's playing center field. And there's a strike. Straight down the heart of the home plate. I want to welcome you once again to our live transmission from Panama City, Panama, for this 2011 World Baseball Cup. Swing and miss. 0-2 now for Kalian Sams, a big, strong kid. Hasn't been hitting for average in this tournament, but does have the look of a power hitter. He's got some speed. He plays center field. Another fastball, just a little bit inside. One ball, 2 strikes, and Gonzalez trying to work his way through the second inning. These are 2 of the best pitching ball clubs in this tournament. The Cubans had a 2.02 ERA, and he just struck out, huh? Gonzalez just struck out Killian Sands, and they go down in order 1, 2, 3 in the bottom half of the second inning. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back with more of this final for the World Baseball Cup. Stay tuned.
Julius Pro Center, donde todo es original. Los esperan en los Andes, los pueblos, en Dorado, al rumor, Plaza Edison, Metro y ahora. En Paseo Central de Chitré, informa. Parte alta del tercer episodio. Bateador en turno, con el número 13. Ariel Pestaño. Receptor.
Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the third inning. Cuba is up to bat. 8th, 9th, and first hitters. Ariel Pestano is hitting .286. He's got a homer, a double. He's got 4 runs batted in. We'll be seeing Ariel Pestano, and we'll also on deck will be Barbaro ARRUEBARRUENA. And we'll also see Rusney Castillo, which has been like the great offensive revelation for the Cuban team in this 2011 World Baseball Championship, or World Baseball Cup. There's a strike right down the middle. Looking pretty confident on the mound, Robbie Cordemans. Cuban team has yet to get a hit in this game. Ariel Pestano, they call him El Veterano. They call him the veteran. Another well-known player who's been with the national team for a long time. Good catcher, considered by most of the Cuban experts as one of the best catchers Cuba has had all time. He's 37 years old. He hails from Villa Clara, Cuba, which is actually the same place where shortstop Yunieski Betancourt is from. The shortstop nowadays for the Milwaukee Brewers, who are in a big-time fight with the Cardinals for the National League Championship Series in the U.S. That's Cordemans. He's waiting for the sign. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pestano hits a line drive foul down the third base line. Got a good cut, got a good hack of it. Looked like he was just a little in front of that fastball. Ariel Pestano, which was part of this team, of this Cuban team in both World Baseball Classics. The first one in 2006 and the second one in 2009. And he was just caught looking. Big time pitch here for Robbie Cordemans, and the first batter goes down looking. Pestano strikes out here in the top of the third inning. Temperature right now is around 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind is around 7 miles per hour. Weather forecast is, as you can see, it's still raining. The forecast was light showers in the evening. Curveball that just breaks a little low for Robbie Cordemans. JC Boyd in the commentary here in the international feed. Remember, you can write me with your questions, with your comments via my Twitter account, JC Boyd _sport360. Follow me through the my Twitter account. You can ask any question. You can make any comments, or if you want to send anybody a salute or a message. You have a loved one in Panama City. Maybe you have a loved one around the world that maybe you want to send them a message. A baseball fan, obviously through and thick. Hitting for Cuba, the shortstop. This is ARRUEBARRENA. Bárbaro ARRUEBARRENA. He's hitting 282 for the tournament. Another of the national all-stars, and he goes down swinging. Another strikeout. That's 2 strikeouts in a row for Robbie Cordemans, who looks like he's taking command. He's taking control of this game. Looked like a fastball from this angle. There's a windup. There's the pitch, and he was just a little late swinging at that ball. Cuba doesn't have any hits so far. We're in the top of the 3rd inning, and now up Rusney Castillo. He was faking like he wanted to bunt. He takes it for the strike. Rusney Castillo, who's actually leading the tournament. He's leading all teams in batting average. He came into this game hitting .512. He's got 21 hits and 41 ABs. 21 hits and 41 at-bats. He has 2 home runs. He's got 6 RBIs. He hits a lazy pop-up down the first base line that ends up in foul territory. Rusney Castillo, like I said, he's got 21 hits and 41 at-bats. He's hit 2 home runs, 2 triples, 4 doubles. He's got 6 runs batted in for the red team, for the Cuban team, the Caribbean powerhouse team, the team with the 25 world championships. Cuba went undefeated in the first round. They were playing in Group 2. They beat Australia, the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, South Korea, Italy, Germany, and Nicaragua. They went 7 for 7, with a combined score of 54 runs, 54-6. They scored 54 in the first round and only allowed 6 runs. There's a chopper foul. Stays alive here. Rusney Castillo. Cuba certainly looked like the powerhouse team and clear-cut favorite to win it all this year. In the second round, they went 3-1. And ironically, their only loss came against the Netherlands, the team that's actually facing Cuba in this final game. In the second round, Cuba beat the U.S. by a slim margin, 8-7. Then in their second game, they lost their first game of the tournament against the Netherlands, 4-1. Then they played a doubleheader yesterday. Swings and misses, and he strikes out for the 3rd out. He strikes out the side. He's looking strong. He's looking dominant. Robbie Cordemans, once again, looked like a changeup up high in the zone. 3 up, 3 down. Cuban goes down swinging. We'll take another break and we'll be right back. Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. There's a crowd of Cubans, the Cuban popular team there. It's one of the most popular teams in this World Baseball Cup. And even though the rain has been playing its share its share of this game, it obviously delayed the game for 4 hours. A lot of baseball fans, they stayed. They basically waited their rain delay. Most of them got to be fairly wet by now. Daniel Rombley's up to bat. Rombley, who's hitting ninth, playing right field. There's a pop up to second base. GOURRIEL is underneath, and there goes the first out. One away in the bottom half of the third inning. There's GOURRIEL probably telling his pitcher in his infield that the rain maybe caused a little distraction, fielding that last pop-up. KEMP will be up to bat. He's 1 for 1 in this game. He had an infield hit. He's hitting .208. KEMP, that started in 7 games for the Dutch team. He's played in 9 games in this tournament. Swings and misses. Looks like Gonzalez, the left-handed pitcher for the Cuban team, is up to the challenge against the strong effort tonight for Robbie Cordemans, the starting pitcher for the Netherlands. Looks like a classic pitching duel tonight in Panama City. This tournament, which was held in Panama City, in Agua Dulce, in Chitre, and then they also played games in Santiago. Originally 16 teams started the tournament. 8 advanced to the second round. And there's only two remaining, fighting for the World Baseball Cup title. There's a lazy fly ball in the infield. First baseman's under net, and there's quickly 2 away in the bottom of the third inning. No problems for Gonzalez against KEMP. Gonzalez, which has only allowed 1 hit so far in this game. Cuba, that is managed by Alfonso Urquiola, a well-known and respected manager for the Cuban team. Urquiola, who's also had a chance to manage for the Panamanian team. He managed the Team Panama in the 2007 Pan American Games. And he's also been a manager in the local baseball, National Baseball League, the amateur league here in Panama. 2 outs, bottom of the third inning. And there's a strike, straight down the middle. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being on board. And you're listening to us via the international feed for the IBAS World Baseball Cup. A little late on that swing. Another foul ball here for Morejón Gregorius. Sounds like a Roman name. He's hitting .265. He plays shortstop for the orange team. All white tonight. They're the orange team. In Spanish, they're called the Naranja Mecánica, the Mechanical Orange, or the Mechanical Orange Men. Tonight, they're wearing the all-white unis, white top and white pants. Lefty against lefty. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and it's 2 away in the bottom of the third inning. There's a shot down the third base line that goes down as a foul ball. A lot of rain. Looks like the field looks a little wet, a little slow. Once again, this game was scheduled to start at 5 o'clock local Panama time. We had to wait for 4 hours. And it started right around 9 o'clock local time. Cuba has won 10 games, 10 out of 11 games in this tournament. But their only loss came against the Holland team. Their aggregate overall second round record was 6-1, 6 wins and 1 loss. The same record as the Dutch team. The Dutch are playing home tonight, since they, in a sense, hold the tiebreaker, since the only loss that Cuba had was against the Dutch team. That's Gregorius. He hits a nice line drive to right field, but got a good jump on it. No problem there for Alexei Bell, and 3 up and 3 down. The score is still tied after 3 innings. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Julius Pro Center, donde todo es original. Nos espera que los Andes, los pueblos en torno al grupo para salir y sorber la ahora. En Paseo Central de Chile. Ya volvemos.
Well, we're going into the top of the 4th inning. Still tied 0-0 Cuba against the Netherlands. And now up for the Cuban team. We'll take a chance to see Alexei Bell. He's hitting .308. He's got 11 RBIs. He's hit 3 doubles, a triple. And he's got 9 runs scored. Big time player. He plays right field. And he'll be facing Robbie Kordsman. He'll be facing Kordsman for the second time. Kordsman has retired 9 consecutive batters. He's looked strong, he's looked solid, he's placed his pitches. He looked like he has pretty good command of the strike zone. Facing a big-time, powerful Cuban team. The Cubans ended up hitting well over 300 as a team. They hit 343. They scored 74 or 78 runs. They hit 12 home runs in 11 games. Without a doubt, they were the most explosive team in this tournament. So what Kortemans has done in the first 3 innings has been really remarkable. He's held the Cubans hitless. He's retired 9 straight. Waiting for the sign, his catcher. Another fastball, a little late on it. First baseman's running after it, but the ball's going to bounce in foul territory. His catcher is Sidney De Jong. That's the catcher for the Dutch team, who was calling a nice game tonight. A ball and 2 strikes on Alexei Bell. Alexei is a name that should be somewhat familiar to Major League fans. There's a Cuban player who plays for the Chicago White Sox, Alexei Ramirez. They call him the Cuban Missile. Swings at a changeup and he goes down swinging. Big time pitch here for Kortemans. Really had him off balance there with a changeup. There's a windup. Nice looking mechanic. Straight down the pipe, just changed speeds, you know, an off-speed pitch. The batter was just totally fooled. There's an out in the top of the 4th inning, and now up for Cuba, Frederic Cepeda. I saw Frederic Cepeda hitting bombs in Mexico in the last World Baseball Classic at the Foro del Sol Stadium in Mexico City. He reminds me a little bit of a Mark Teixeira. They played different positions, but they both hit from both sides of the plate. He's got great power from the left side. He hits more for average when he bats right-handed. Don't want to say it much, but we're seeing a night possibly to remember here for Robbie Kordsman. He's retired 10 straight. And there's a drive to right field. Way back, and that ball's going to bounce off the wall. That's going to be extra bases for Frederic Cepeda. And that'll be the first base hit given up by Robbie Kordsman. He got all of that one, boy. He hit it on the money. He hit it on the face. He practically hit the daylights out of that one. Big time swing down the right center field gap. Power gap here for Frederic Cepeda. Oh, that shot was probably traveled about 380 feet. One bounce and up against the wall. Nothing he can do about it. The center field for the Netherlands, Kalian Sams, who was actually playing him more to the opposite field. Golden opportunity here for Cuba in the top of the 4th inning. There's a runner in second base. Up to bat, Alfredo Despaign. Trying the curve just a little bit outside. You can tell the Cuban fans are gearing up for this 4th inning. Cuba is typically one of the most popular teams internationally, not only in Cuba, but around the world in Latin America and Europe. They always draw lots of fans. There's a wild pitch, and Cepeda is going to advance without a throw to third base. Looks like the shot that Cepeda hit off of Kordsman might have shaken him up a little bit, showing Despaign a lot of respect. First two pitches have been basically breaking balls. This one was a breaking ball up against the dirt. Two balls and no strikes for Alfredo Despaign. Working out of the stretch. Here's a windup. Here's a fastball and swing and a miss. Big time pitch, huh? I can't see the speed gun from this side of the stadium, but that ball is definitely gonna be whizzing by around 94, 95 miles an hour. It looks like he's putting some extra juice. He's throwing some darts down the home plate. Cepeda's at third base. There's one out. 2-1 the count. Pitcher prepares. He's sets. Here's a drive, and this should get the first run in. Deep fly ball to center field. Cepeda's gonna tag and run. Here's a throw, and Cuba scores the first run of the ball game. You can score that, a sacrifice fly for Alfredo Despaign. He gets the job done. He gets a run in. And the Cubans start to celebrate in Panama City. 1-0, top of the fourth inning. That's something that the Cubans, they typically show a lot of discipline when they're in the batter's box. Well disciplined, very experienced, well coached team. We're talking about a superstar team of Cubans. There's a swing, there's a drive down the left field line, and foul ball. Hitting for Cuba now is the dangerous GOURRIEL, who's hitting .297. He's got 2 home runs in this World Baseball Cup. He's got 2 home runs and 11 runs batted in. There's a fastball a little bit outside. I think definitely that shot that off the wall from Cepeda, I think definitely shook up the right-handed Dutch pitcher just a little bit, just enough. There's another drive off the end of the bat, right behind first base. Second baseman calls for it. He's underneath, and the third out is GOURRIEL is retired. Cuba scores 1 after 3.5, 1-0. Cuba's leading the final game. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Las piezas que su auto necesita las tenemos aquí. Parabrisas y carrocerías 261-9311. En calle Seguima, Mr. Hermosa los espera. Ya volvemos. Recuerden, al finalizar el partido, no se mueva y disfruten del acto de clausura. Apoya a tu país luciendo el uniforme de la selección nacional. De venta en Mauricio Deportes y los mejores almacenes del país presenta bateador en turno con el número 24. Sidney Guillón, receptor.
We're back and 1-0. Cuba's up. Going into the bottom half of the fourth inning. Sidney DeJong, the catcher for the Dutch team, is up to bat. Let's see how Uliski Gonzalez works with the with a 1-0 lead. A local TV Max, local Panamanian network. We got to thank TV Max for the job they're doing with your international feed, with all the work that has to be put into it. Look at the Cuban crowd, huh? I'm pretty amazed of the amount of people that have shown up for the game. The ones that have waited the 4 hours and those that have just shown up for it. The crowd is small, but it's active. It's and we got to congratulate all those people who made it here to the Rod Carew National Stadium in Panama. Rod Carew, as many of you know, played in the major leagues. He's the only active Hall of Fame Panamanian baseball player in the Hall of Fame. There's a shot that goes as a foul ball. Rod Carew, that many of you remember, played for the Minnesota Twins. He also played for the California Angels. He won 7 batting titles. He's in the 3,000 hit club. And he's a proud member of Cooperstown, New York. Proud member of the Hall of Fame. The National Stadium bears his name, Rod Carew Stadium. It looks like he slipped here on the mound. Uliski Gonzalez. No harm, no foul. He'll restart his windup. 3-2 count here against Sidney DeJong. Bottom of the 4th inning. And obviously, that was the 3rd ball in the count. 3-2 now. Full count for Sidney DeJong. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to share with you the details, the action, and all the emotions that are being lived in this title game for the World Baseball Cup. 3-2 count. Time called by the batter. Want to send my hellos to NBC Sports Plus. Well, a little bit of high. Looked patient, and he worked his way on base. That was the first walk for Sidney DeJong. First walk of the game for Uliski Gonzalez. Uliski, remember, for those of you that just tuned in, Uliski is 1-0 with a 1.59 ERA in this tournament. He beat South Korea, and he's facing Holland, or the Netherlands, the Dutch team, in the most important game of this tournament. The final game. Nice fastball right over the outside corner. Called for strike. Bottom of the 4th inning. A lot of international press here in Rod Carew Stadium. I've seen people from all parts of the world. A lot of press. And we got to congratulate the Panamanian national government. There's a shot to the opposite field. The ball's going to dunk. There's a base hit for Holland. It just took the ball the other way. Just went with it on the outside corner. Just didn't try to do too much with it. Just got a piece of it. Just enough to get it over the second baseman. Nice solid shot to right field. And the Dutch are showing some life here in the bottom of the 4th inning. J.C. Boyd is calling the game. There's going to be a meeting at the mound. Pitching coach for the Cuban team. Probably discussing the situation. Probably discussing who's going to come up to bat. Obviously, one of the most dangerous hitters for the Dutch team. I'm talking about Kurt Smith, who's hitting 351. He's a guy with power, a guy who hits for average. No, Kurt Smith, excuse me. Kurt Smith was the one who got the dinker. And Brian Engelhardt is the one who's coming up to bat. I was talking about a dangerous hitter. Well, this guy is also very dangerous. He's hitting 417, Brian Engelhardt. He's in the top 10 in average, in batting average for this World Cup. He squares a bunt. Trying to play small ball here, the Dutch team. You're thinking your fifth hitter would be getting a green light to swing away. But the Dutch, knowing that this could be a classical pitching duel, they're going to try to produce at least one run, some way, somehow. They're thinking about bunting here. Now they take the bunt sign off. Brian Engelhardt, he's from Curacao, from the Netherlands Antilles. He plays for the Kinheim. Other players from Kinheim are also made the roster. David Bergman, who's a pitcher, and Tom Stuyfbergen, who's also a pitcher. Two pitchers from Kinheim and Brian Engelhardt, who today is hitting DH. He's hitting for the pitcher, and he's taking balls here. He's working the count. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike for Brian Engelhardt. He spells his name Brian with a Y. Kind of like Brian Pena, Cuban national who now plays in the U.S. Good friends with other Cuban nationals on this baseball team. 2-1 the count for Engelhardt. There's a grounder to first base. Nothing you could do about it. They're sending him home, and here is the first run for the Dutch team. They just tied the ball game. It didn't look like a solid grounder down the first base line, but the first baseman just wasn't able to come up with it. We're going to see the replay. Just a little out of his reach for the Cuban first baseman, Jose Abreu. And from second base, you can see the smile on Sidney DeJong, tying up the game. There's an RBI for Engelhardt, a run scored for Sidney DeJong, and we're all tied up in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitching duel. And Cuba apparently doesn't want to have anything to do with it. They're going to take the pitcher out. We're going to have a pitching change. So we'll take another break. And we'll be right back, folks. We're tied 1-1, Cuba and Holland in the final game.
Colchón de Play, 50 años haciendo realidad los mejores sueños en todo Panamá. Presenta nuevo lanzador por la novena de Cuba, con el número 15. Freddy Álvarez. Freddy Álvarez es el nuevo lanzador por la novena de Cuba, con el número 15. Soluciones integradas para su oficina o negocio, oficina productiva, oficina Canon. Con Canon usted puede. Canon informa, bateador en turno, con el número 15, Charlotte Shaw. segunda base.
Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're all tied up at one apiece, one for Cuba and one for the Netherlands. There's a man on first and second. He squares a bunt. Cuba has made a pitching change. It looks like it's number 15 for the Cuban team. That's Alvarez. Freddie Alvarez. He comes into this game with 2 wins and no losses, 2.87 ERA. He's made 3 starts. He's pitched 15 and 2/3 innings, given up 14 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He's got 12 strikeouts and only 1 walk. Big time pitcher. There's a bunt. Pitcher fields. He throws to first base, and the sacrifice works here for the Dutch team in the bottom of the 4th inning. Runners move up, second and third, with only 1 out. This could be perhaps the most important inning of the ball game. Charlin Shoop with a bunt to sacrifice. And now up his younger brother, Jonathan Shoop. Jonathan Shoop. There's a ground ball, base hit down the second base. And 1 run will score. They're going to hold up the other runner. They're going to hold up Engelhardt at third base. Nice approach. The bat here for the young Jonathan Shoop. And that puts the Netherlands up 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. I had mentioned to you that he's one of the best looking prospects, the best looking young prospects that the Dutch have. He's obviously still entering the prime of his life. He's only 19 years old. Originally from Williamstad, Curaçao. Curaçao, that should ring a bell. Curaçao is an island colony of the Netherlands that has produced players to the major leagues, players like Andrew Jones and like the Braves pitcher Jair Jurgens. He just got plunked. Kalian Sams gets hit by the pitch. And now the bases will be loaded for the Netherlands. Problems for Freddie Alvarez. Ball just grazed him. I think it grazed his jersey. Nothing he could do about it. Try to get away, but that ball just had too much of the inside part of the plate right next to the batter. Danny Rumley will be up with the bases loaded. Danny Rumley, 9th batter, the 9th hitter for the Netherlands. He plays right field. Danny Rumley, who hasn't had a great tournament. He's only hitting .219. He only has 3 RBIs in 11 games. Oh, got to scratch that. He's played in 9 of the 11 games for the Dutch team. But he finds himself with the golden opportunity here with the bases loaded to really put some pressure on Cuba in this title game in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ariel Pestano talking to his pitcher. Probably trying to make some sense, or to try to make some sense out of his pitches. Trying to maybe wake him up a little bit. Still hitting for Holland. Danny Rombley. Bases loaded. 1 out. Swing and a miss. Now he's in a hole. Now he's in a big-time hole with the bases loaded. 0-2 the count for Danny Rombley. Good speed on second. Good speed on first base. I'm thinking the Dutch manager probably hoping he gets at least a fly ball to the outfield. He tried to check his swing and he gets striked out. He gets punched out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rombley looked terrible. He tried to check his swing, but the home plate umpire didn't hesitate to call him out. There's the replay where he tried to check his swing, but from this angle, you could tell that he crossed the bat. 2-1 Netherlands. Bottom of the 4th inning, bases loaded. 2 away. Dwayne Kemp is now up to bat. Dwayne Kemp, ironically, a Kemp playing in the title game when another Kemp will be probably fighting for the National League MVP in the major leagues. I'm talking about Matt Kemp that plays center field for the Dodgers, for the LA Dodgers. This Kemp plays left field. There's a line shot and caught by the pitcher. Showed some nice reflexes. Nice defensive play here for Freddie Alvarez. And the Dutch team leave the bases loaded, but first they score the 2nd run. 2-1 Netherlands. We'll be right back.
Aprovecha los pequeños precios de McDonald's. Prueba el nuevo cuarto de libra de lucha solo $1.59. McDonald's informa. Marcador de turno con el número 79. Jugando en la primera base, José Daniel Abreu.
Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, going into the top of the 5th inning. Cuba will be batting in the 5th inning with part of his strong lineup up due. We'll be seeing Jose Abreu, Michel Enriquez, and Ariel Pestano, which would be the 6th, 7th, and 8th hitters for the Cuban team. I want to go. I want to take a chance to review how the Netherlands team got to the final game. They finished first in Group 1 with 6 wins and 1 loss. They beat Greece, Japan, Chinese Taipei, Puerto Rico, Panama, and USA. Their only loss came against the Canadian team. They lost that game 5-4 in extra innings. It took 11 innings for the Canadians to beat the Dutch in the first round. In the second round, they really surprised a lot of people. They went undefeated, winning their 4 games, and gave us a glimpse of bigger things to come, defeating Cuba, which surprised a lot of people. Netherlands, the first time a European team qualifies and gets to the championship game since 1938. We're talking about more than 60 years ago. There's a fly ball down the first base line in foul territory, and no problems for the Dutch first baseman, Kurt Smith. He gets underneath it. One away in the top of the 5th inning. Like I was saying, the Netherlands are the first European team to make it to the final since 1938. The only other European team ever to play in a final World Baseball Cup championship game was Great Britain in 1938. The team that faced and defeated the U.S. in the inaugural Baseball World Cup. There's a drive to right field. And there's 2 away for Robbie Cordsmans, who looks like he's actually trying to recover a little bit from that 4th inning where he gave up the first run. 2 outs, and now the catcher will be up, Ariel Pestano. I was talking about the World Cup, the World Baseball Cup of 1938. For that first edition, Great Britain faced the USA, but only 2 teams were invited to play for that World Baseball Cup, USA and Great Britain. And the British came out on top, winning the first ever World Baseball Cup in 1938. So the Netherlands, in essence, are only the 2nd team to ever make it to the final game. The Dutch team, they're up 2-1, top of the 5th inning. Another changeup, big-time changeup, which looks like it's been practically Robbie Cordsman's best friend tonight. 0-2 the count for Pestano. And there's a high fly ball in the infield. First baseman Smith is under it, and the side is retired. Ladies and gentlemen, 2-1 the score in favor of the Netherlands. We'll take another break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Recuerda, al finalizar el partido, disfruta de la clausura, el espectáculo. Sport Center, donde todo es original. Los espera que los Andes, los pueblos, el Dorado, el Rumor, Plaza Edison, el Metro Mall y ahora en Paseo Central de Chitré.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. JC Boyd on the commentary here in the International IBAF World Baseball Cup feed. Heading into the bottom of the fifth inning. Now up for the Netherlands, Gregorius. He's out for 2 tonight. He's got a strikeout. This player reminds me a little bit of a Joey Gathright that came up through the Tampa Bay organization back in the early 2000s. He's facing Freddy Aziel Alvarez, the Cuban right-handed pitcher, born on the 29th of April of 1989. That makes him a pretty young pitcher. He's only about 22 years old. Freddy Alvarez wheels and deals, and he crosses him with a fastball on the inside corner for the first strike. 3-1 the count here for Gregorius. There's a ground ball to first base. No problem here for a Cuban first baseman. Routine grounder that Jose Abreu gobbles up. There's one away in the bottom of the fifth inning. Netherlands playing in its first final against the ever popular and highly talented Cuban team. The Cubans, winners of 25 world championships. They finished in the top 30 times. The USA has won this tournament in 4 different occasions. And USA has finished 15 times in the top 3. Remember, for this tournament, there's no Major League Baseball players allowed to participate. No player that had belonged to the 40-man roster of any Major League Baseball team was allowed to participate in this tournament. So it's mostly minor leaguers from the U.S. and amateur players from around the world. Now up is Sidney DeJong. Sidney DeJong, who scored the first run for the Dutch team. Facing Alvarez, try to check his swing. First base umpire says he did, so he stays alive. Two to 1, Netherlands beating Cuba. Netherlands all white, Cuba wearing the red jersey and the red pants, wearing the red uniform, classical red uniform for the Cuban team. Remember, you can send me your comments through Twitter at my account, Twitter at JCBoyd_sport360. 2-2 the count. And he strikes out. He changed his windup a little bit. He changed his delivery, changing his release point, changing the actual plane of the ball. Off balance and off his timing there. A little late on the swing, Sidney DeJong. He goes down swinging for the second out. Now up, Kurt Smith. He's got a run scored, and he's officially 1 for 1 in this game. Now facing Freddy Alvarez, or Freddy Alvarez. Nice looking split finger on the outside corner. It looked like he's got a fastball, he's got a nice curveball, he's got a changeup, and that looked like a forkball or possibly a split finger fastball from Freddie Alvarez. Not the same pitch, a hanging curveball that just stayed up way too high. Not enough break on that last curveball. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 away, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. You're watching the World Baseball Cup Final from Panama City, Panama. Live from Rod Carew Stadium. 2-1 down low. The stadium that has capacity for about 20,000 people, 27,000 people. It was built in 1999. It bears now the name of the most famous Panamanian baseball player, at least up to now, Rod Carew. There's a drive to left field. That ball's going to dunk in for a base hit. Relay comes into second base. Nice line drive here. The fielder was playing him to more towards. He was shagging him more towards the center field. Gave him the whole gap between the line and the traditional position where typically the left fielder would play. See that big hole down the left field line. He was playing him. They were playing him to go opposite field. Nice hit here for the Dutch national player, Kurt Smith, who gets another base hit. He's 2 for 2 now on the night, and he'll give Brian Engelhardt an opportunity here to perhaps cause some damage in the bottom of the 5th inning. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being a part of the IBAF or World Baseball Cup tradition. The stadium is where they're going to be playing most of the local Pro Base Panamanian Professional Baseball League that opens up in a couple days. First game of the season will be the 21st of October. So we want to wish all the luck to the newly invented or the rebirth of the Panamanian Professional League. No problem from Michelle Enriquez at third base with that little blooper on the third base line, and the side is retired. And we're still 2-1. Netherlands up. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
su auto necesita, las tenemos aquí. Parabrisas y carrocerías, 261-9311. En calle Séptima Vista Hermosa los espera y les informa. Que nos vamos a la parte alta del sexto episodio. Vístete de béisbol, apoya a tu país.
Well, we're hitting to the top of the sixth inning, and Robbie Kordsman is still pitching for the Dutch national team. He's had a great outing. He's got a great start. He's only allowed 1 run through 5 complete. Hitting into the top of the sixth inning, up by 1 run, 2-1, giving his team, the orange team, the opportunity to win its first ever. Listen to me closely. It's their first ever World Baseball Cup championship. This would be a big time surprise and a big time accomplishment. It would be a huge disappointment for Cuba to win, to lose this game. Although we, as I already mentioned to you before, the only loss that Cuba has was against the Netherlands. No balls and 2 strikes. Fastball on the outside corner. Just missed with that fastball. Robbie Kordsman's up to now. I would have to vote him as the possible player of the game for this championship game. There's a shot to center field, but right at the center fielder. He got good wood on it. He got a good swing on it. But just right at the center fielder. No problems for Killian Sands on that shot. So you can retire Bárbaro Arruebarrena. And now up will be Rusney Castillo. Netherlands against Cuba. Cuba that clinched earlier yesterday when they beat Canada. The Netherlands also clinched on Thursday. Netherlands clinched first. They were the first team to qualify for the finals. That was on Thursday, and Cuba having to play a doubleheader yesterday against Canada and later on against Panama, beat Canada and basically assure their place in this final game against the #1 team, the #1 against the #2. And believe it or not, the #1 team coming into this game was the Netherlands. These two teams met last year. They actually fought for the Intercontinental Cup in 2010. So they know each other pretty well. I think practically everybody knows Cuba. They know who their players are, what type of players they have, their pitching staff, the type of baseball they like to play. And the orange team. There's a shot and a leaping catch. What a catch here by the second baseman for the Dutch team. Wow. That was Charlene SCHOOP making the outstanding play in second base. Man, he showed some vertical leap on that one. That was a shot. That was a line drive that looked like it was going to be well placed. But he had good timing. He made his jump, and he showed he's got a great glove, huh? This Charlene SCHOOP. What a stab there for the second baseman for the Dutch team. taking away possibly a hit or perhaps an extra base hit, depending on the location of where that ball was going to land. He robbed Rusney Castillo of a possible base hit. Now up for Cuba, Alexei Bell. I spoke to you earlier on that the name Alexei he spells his name Alexei, Alexei, just like Alexei Ramirez, who plays for the Chicago White Sox. We call him here in Panama El Pirineo, Alexei Ramirez. In the States, they call him the Cuban Missile. This Alexei Bell, just by the look of him, just by his physical attributes, looks like a more talented and perhaps a more complete overall player. Obviously, he plays for Cuba, so there's no shot at him at getting drafted, no shot at him at getting signed, unless for some reason would try to skip the team, which has happened in the past, as you all know. Cuba has had his fair share of defectors in the past. Orlando Hernandez, who played for the Yankees. Jose Contreras, who also played for the Yankees. Alexei Ramirez. Aroldis Chapman, the lefty who throws about 106 miles per hour. He also skipped the team for greener pastures in the U.S. He's pitching. He's a relief pitcher now for the Cincinnati Reds for their big league club. And now up, Frederick Cepeda. This is Frederick Cepeda, who's up. He had a double his last time up. He's one powerful dude. He's one powerful guy. He's got tremendous power for both sides of the plate. Dangerous hitter here. Robbie Cordemans has definitely have to be very, very careful with his hitter. He's got the capacity to hit it out of the park on any swing with any pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. There's 2 away, and there's a good swing. Just a hack that goes foul into the stands. Two to 1 Netherlands. Cuba with a runner on first. A guy with good speed. Alexei Bell is running on first base. He's hoping Cepeda has got some more pop, has more juice left him in this baseball game. He looks fully concentrated. Another very patient, very disciplined, well-rounded hitter. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's 2 away in the top of the 6th inning. Cordemans out of the stretch, and there's a strike right over this outside corner. Cepeda didn't like that one, but it looked to me like it did catch a lot of the outside corner. Let's see how the Netherlands tries to pitch to Frederick Cepeda. Danger is his middle name. He's one of those bombers, those evil Cuban bombers that they currently have on their roster. When you talk about Bell, Cepeda, Despaign, GOURRIEL, Abreu, they all have the capacity to hit long home runs on any count, on any given moment. There's a fly ball to short left field. He's coming around, and Kemp will make the catch. Dwayne Kemp will make the catch. And after 5.5, Netherlands is still up 2 to 1. We'll be right back.
renueva hoy, nadie mejor para asegurar tu auto que Internacional de Seguros. Presentó este episodio. Canon, soluciones integradas para su oficina negocio, oficina productiva, oficina Canon. Con Canon usted puede. Ya volvemos. Mete un home run con tu caja grande de McDonald's. Ármala como quieras sobre McDonald's. Presenta el cierre del 6º episodio. Un béisbol de clase mundial necesita productos de clase mundial. Para un mejor desempeño, siente tu juego de una nueva manera. Adidas is all in. Presenta con el número...
We're back now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1 the game. 2-1 in the finals. The Netherlands beating Cuba. The big surprise tonight from Panama City. We're live from Rod Carew Stadium. Now up, Charlene Schoop. Charlene Schoop, second baseman for the Dutch team. Facing Freddie Alvarez, who came in to relieve Gonzalez in the 4th inning. And another hit by pitch. This one came in very close to the elbow. That gotta hurt. That's the second hits batsman in the game for Cuba. The second Dutch player that gets hit. This ball just really, it just had no chance. He had no chance of actually trying to get away from that one. So the Dutch team now has runner on first base, and up to bat, younger brother, the Schoop brothers. This is Jonathan Schoop. He's 1 for 2 today. He's got a single. He's got a single, and he's got an RBI tonight. He's got the, up to now, he's got the difference maker. He had the base hit up the middle to drive in the second run of the game. No outs. Man on first. Working out of the stretch, Freddie Alvarez. Facing Jordan Schoop, he squares a bunt and he bunts a foul ball. More action in the Cuban bullpen. 2 righties are working, trying to warm up as fast as he can. We're live from Panama City in this World Baseball Cup final. The Cuban team, the great favorites, they're losing 2-1. Bottom of the 6th inning. Here's a bunt. I think the pitcher's going to field it. He's going to tag the runner, and the runner on first is going to advance to second base. So he scored at a sacrifice. And the team from Holland has just placed another runner in scoring position. That was an easy play for Alvarez. The bunt that was on the first base side, but he fielded rather easily, and he tagged the runner as he was going by. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And a big, best wishes from all the IBAF staff. Working hard, working round the clock here through the rain in Panama City. Lots of rain these past few days, huh? The crowd obviously has been somewhat driven away by the rain, but we do have some people, a lot of Cuban people here, and quite a few Dutch people. The rain keeps on coming. Lots of rain. Let's hope this game we can get those 9 innings in, and that the umpiring staff doesn't have to forego the last few innings. Let's hope they don't have to shorten this game, because in a way it would be somewhat unfair to both teams. Unfair to the crowd, unfair to the baseball community. Some of the kids, they're already thinking about Sunday, probably thinking about other things. Too long of a delay for the kids, for the children. 1 ball, 1 strike here for Colian Sams. And Gonzalez has lost the strike zone. Batting for the Dutch, Colian Sams, and on deck, Danny Rombley. Gonzalez facing the 8th hitter. Center fielder Colian Sams. 2 balls and 1 strike. This one just missed just a little bit on the outside corner. And I'm thinking that Alfonso Urquiola, who's the Cuban manager, I'm thinking he's not going to be too patient. He's not going to give him too many chances here. He pulled Gonzalez in the 3rd inning. I'm pretty sure that if he walks Colian Sams, most likely he's going to pull Freddie Alvarez. 3-1 the count. Rain keep on coming, and he's going to walk him. He walks Sams, and ladies and gentlemen, I think that could be a sign of some control problems here for Freddie Alvarez. The 2 righties just keep on warming up in the Cuban bullpen. And here's the pitching coach. I guess they're going to give him 1 more shot. They're going to give him 1 more shot, and maybe give the relievers a little more time to warm up. They know what's at stake. Cuba has been in this situation lots of times, plenty of times. Although typically, Cuba's the team that's leading after 6 innings. We're in Rod Carew Stadium, where they not only hold baseball games, they also have rock concerts here. They have monster truck events. They played soccer here. They even played youth American football. Danny Rombley will be up to bat. He struck out his last time at bat. Squares the bunt, and he just let it go by, and the umpire says no. More problems for Freddie Alvarez. I'm thinking Cuba might use most of his best pitchers tonight. If the situation obviously forces Urquiola to use most of his pitches. There's a ground ball to the pitcher. He throws to second base. He's going to be forced out at second base. but he bobbles the baseball, so they can't even get a throw off the first base. It looked like a pretty good chance to get a double play ball here. A bouncer right up the middle. Pitcher makes a good play, a nice little throw to second base. But the shortstop, ARRUEBARRUENA, just bobbled the baseball. I'm not sure if the ball was a little wet, maybe. He caught it cleanly, and he just, I don't know, he just missed it. Lost control of the baseball. And this will give the Dutch team a second chance to score another run in the 6th inning. Dwayne Kemp will be up to bat. He hits a lazy fly ball behind the shortstop, and ARRUEBARRUENA is there, and he makes the catch. Inning over, folks. We're still 2-1. Netherlands winning after 6 innings. We'll be right back.
Oficina o negocio, oficina productiva, oficina Canon. Con Canon usted puede. Canon presenta bateador del 7º episodio, bateador en turno. Por el número 54, por la novena de Cuba, jugando en el jardín izquierdo, Alfredo DESPAIGNE.
Well, we're back again, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for staying tuned. Heading into the top half of the 7th inning, and Cuba will be up to bat, facing Robbie CORDEMANS. Well, on the first pitch, he hits a high fly ball to left field. Kemp is there. Kemp is gonna miss it. Wow, he's gonna miss the fly ball. The ball drops. And I guess fate or maybe luck was on Cuba's side. On this one. He was basically fooled. He hit it off the end of the bat, practically. Kemp was there, just basically. I think he just missed it or lost it in the lights or lost his concentration. He was coming looking like he had a very good shot of catching that ball. New life for Cuba. Now up, GOURRIEL. Alfredo DESPAIGNE ends up at second base with that error for the left fielder. From the left fielder, Dwayne Kemp. He's 0 for 2 today. GOURRIEL, second baseman, all class, a world-class second baseman for the Cubans. The red team thinking about tying the game. There's a shot to second base. Nice play here by SCHOOP. He throws to first base, and there goes the first out of the inning. Nice play, huh? Looked the runner, then he took his time, threw to first base. That out was as big as the Panama Canal, ladies and gentlemen. Big time play for the Dutch second baseman SCHOOP, who made it look easy. He picked it on a hopper, on a one hop, a true hop, but it was a bullet that was hit by GOURRIEL. Now up for Cuba. It looks like it's Jose Abreu. No relation to Bobby Abreu, who played for the Yankees, who played for the Phillies, who was playing for the Los Angeles of Anaheim Angels in the major leagues. This is Jose Abreu. This is what Cuba wanted. One of their better hitters, when a man on second base, runners in scoring position. There's another lazy fly ball behind second base. SCHOOP is going for it, but the right fielder is there. Nice play. Nice play by Danny Rombley. Very disappointing look in Jose Abreu's face. Huh? He's one of the up and comers. He's got all the talent in the world, but he didn't look too great there with that swing. Cordsmans, he's pitching the game of his life on the most important night for Dutch baseball. 2-1 the score. 2 for Holland, 1 for Cuba. There's 2 outs. Their man on second base. Cordsmans deals another strike right through the center, right through the middle of home plate. Michel Enriquez, he's 0 for 2 today. Offensively, he hasn't had quite the results that he probably was looking forward to it for this World Baseball Cup. 0-1 the pitch, and there's another drive to left field. This time, Kemp, with 2 hands, catches the ball, and the Cubans leave one stranded. 6.5 innings. 2-1 Netherlands. We'll be right back.
Como los grandes, Dewey Center sigue demostrando que con menos dinero mejora tu hogar y el resto lo ahorras comprobado. Solo en Dewey Center pronto, Dewey Center Tocumen y Dewey Center Chitré. Ya probemos. Recuerda, al finalizar el partido, disfruta el gran espectáculo de clausura de este Mundial de Béisbol Panamá 2011.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the 7th inning. Cuba is losing 2-1, facing the Dutch team, the Orange team. The Orange team has its fans in Panama. They have their few Panamanian Dutch fans in the crowd. I'm thinking there's going to be around maybe 3,000 or 4,000 people in the stands tonight. There's a roll. There's a grounder to second base. GOURRIEL with no problem. And that's the first out. You can retire Gregorius. He sounds like a gladiator. The shortstop for the Dutch team. Gregorius. Alvarez is a pitcher for Cuba. He came in the third. He's pitched the third. He finished the third. He pitched the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. And he's going into practically his fourth inning now of labor. Facing Sidney de Jong, the Dutch catcher. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for showing your support. You're probably, if you're a Dutch fan, you're probably jumping. You're probably enjoying the night, and probably thinking that we're only about 6 outs away from winning this game. If you're a Dutch fan, bottom of the 7th inning, Holland is batting. There's a shot way into the stands. Happy souvenir for some lucky fan if you get to that ball. Lots of messages on the Twitter. I want to thank all those people who are writing, sending their messages through the Twitter. If you want to write us or write me directly, you want to send a message, you have a question, you have a comment, you can go ahead and follow me or send me a message. Twitter at JC Boyd with D at the end, _ Sport 360. Two to one Holland. He tried to check his swing and he did. So he works a walk. There's a base on balls here for Sidney de Jong, third hitter. Now with man on first, it'll give Kurt Smith the opportunity to be a hero once again. He's been one of the tournament's best hitters. He has the confidence. He has the look of a third hitter. Kind of like reminds me a little of Kirby Puckett back in the days when he played with the Minnesota Twins. There's a strike right down the heart of the home plate. This is his mechanic. This is delivery. He tried to check his swing. Let's see if he did or not. It looked like he went around, but according to the first base umpire, he did check his swing. So he worked his walk. Hitting for the Dutch, Kurt Smith. He swings and he misses. He's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. There's 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning. The orange team, they're up 2 to 1. Thinking about the trophy, thinking about the cup, thinking about greater things, and he strikes out Kurt Smith. Nice looking pitch here for Freddie Alvarez, who had some control problems in the 6th inning. But here on that changeup, on a 3/4 delivery, just basically confused and totally baffled Kurt Smith. And now with 2 outs, it'll be time to see what Brian Engelhardt has in the 7th inning. He's got a hit. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a hit. He's got a strikeout. And And I'm thinking he's probably trying to get ready mentally for that changeup that totally dominated Curt Smith. Brian Engelhardt. Left-handed power for the Dutch. Freddie Alvarez. He throws a bullet, but a little too high. A ball and a strike for Engelhardt. Sidney De Jong. He's a runner on first base. There is no tomorrow for Cuba. Tonight's a night for either Cuba or the Netherlands. There's a foul off his foot. Tonight, Cuba is looking to win its 26th World Championship. The Dutch are trying to become only the second European team, the second European nation ever to win the World Baseball Cup. He sets from the stretch. Alvarez ready, and there's a shot. There's a base hit to right field. The runner will go by second, and he'll stop at third base. What a shot here by Engelhardt. And the orange team tonight, wearing the white unis, are trying to mount a rally here in the 7th inning. Well placed contact here by Engelhardt. Didn't try to do too much with it. He just made a good swing, got some good wood on it. They were playing him fairly deep, so this ball had a very good shot for Brian Engelhardt. That's his second hit of the night. I'm thinking the Dutch team are living some sort of dream, some sort of fantasy right now. They've looked like one of the best teams in this World Baseball Club. Now up, Charlon SCHOOP, who plays second base. Lacy fly ball right behind second base. The center fielder is there. He's going to make the catch. And the inning is over, ladies and gentlemen. 7 complete innings. 7 innings in the books. The Netherlands is still up 2-1 against Cuba. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Las piezas que su auto necesita las tenemos aquí para brisas y carrocerías. 261-9311, calle séptima, mi hermosa los espera. Fanáticos amigos, recuerda, al finalizar el partido, no No se muevan para que disfruten el show de clausura. Todos están invitados para nuestro show de clausura.
Netherlands 6 outs away from winning their first World Championship. They're leading Cuba 2-1. Coming into the top of the 8th inning. There's going to be a pinch hitter for Cuba. Can't see the number. Let's see if we have a different shot. There's a pinch hitter for the catcher. There's going to be a pinch hitter for the Cuban catcher. He'll be leading off in the top of the 8th inning. 2-1. Holland. Let's see if we catch his number. We have a pinch hitter for the Cuban team. Looks like it's going to be Gervais DUVERGEL is the one who's going to be batting for Ariel Pestano. DUVERGEL, who hasn't had a great World Cup series, he's only hitting .083. He's not even hitting 100. He's only got one hit in 12 at bats in October here in Panama. But Cuba makes its move. They're bringing in a pitch hitter. He does have a lot of experience. He looked bad on this swing. And what a night has Robbie Cordemans has. He's pitched 7 strong innings. He's only allowed 1 run. And he's on the brink of making history. And I'm thinking the Netherlands are going to ride him as much as they can. There's a lazy pop-up to the third base line. SCHOOP is there, and you can retire the pinch hitter. Gervais DUVERGEL. I think the Dutch pitcher tonight has showed good speed on his fastball, and he's mixed well his pitches. He's mixed in a nice changeup, and he's thrown in there a curveball that not necessarily has been his out pitch, but has served as part of his repertoire. Now up for the Cuban team. Another pinch hitter. This is Reyes. And there's a shot deep left field. Kemp back, and the ball will hit the fence. This is going to be extra bases for the Cuban team. What a shot here for Reyes, Rudy Reyes. He got a hold of one and almost hit it out of the park. That ball basically hit the bottom part of the fence, close to 365 feet. Kemp was going back. He had no shot of catching this baseball. And look at the excitement. He came in as a pinch hitter, Rudy Reyes, and hits a double here. And Cuba has what it wanted. It has a runner in scoring position. Look at the reaction from Rudy Reyes. Let's see if finally Brian Farley makes a move here. Brian Farley, the manager, who we haven't seen all night. He's going to give him a pat on the back. Great performance tonight by Robbie Cordemans. But we're going to have a pitching move. We're going to have a pitching move, ladies and gentlemen. with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning, and runner in Cuba now has a runner in scoring position. We're gonna take a small timeout. Let's see the replay of this big time hit. This ball had a lot of carry, and I think the left fielder was playing him a little short. I don't know if he was gonna catch it, but he didn't really have a shot of getting to that baseball. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we'll see what number 33 for the Dutch team. We'll see what Juan Carlos Zulbarán has in store for the Cuban Nationals. We'll be right back.
Las piezas que su auto necesita las tenemos aquí. Parabrisas y carrocerías, nos hechura 9311. En calle Séptima, Hermosa los espera. Vístete de béisbol, apoya a tu país, lucite el uniforme de la selección nacional de Benca, en Mauricio Deportes y los mejores almacenes del país. Como los grandes. Duit Center sigue demostrándote que con dinero mejora tu hogar y el resto lo ahorras comprobado. So, Duit Center. Pronto, Duit Center. Document y Duit Center Chitre. Con el número 38, a batear. Rusty Castillo, atinero central.
Well, now up for the Dutch team, Juan Carlos Zulbarán, right-handed pitcher for the Dutch team. Last time we saw him here in Panama, he was playing for the Netherlands in the World Baseball Classic. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Nice play, throw to first base. Safe at first. Reyes didn't take a chance. He made the smart move. He stayed at second base. This is gonna be ruled an infield hit for Cuba. Nice play by the shortstop. He saved possibly the tying run. Made a strong throw, but not in time. So Rusney Castillo hits a grounder deep in the hole between short and second, and he gets on base. Now up, Alexei Bell. Alexei Bell with a strong swing, but he doesn't get a good piece of it. And I can hear Cuban fans. They're yelling, Cuba, Cuba in the stands. 2-1 Netherlands. Here's Zulbarán outside. Juan Carlos Zulbarán pitching for the Dutch. He's another kid from Curaçao. He's only 21 years old. He plays for the Cincinnati Reds in the minor leagues. He's got one start. He's got one complete game, one shutout. He comes into this game with 1 win, no losses, 0.82 in ERA, but he comes in as a reliever, basically as a possible setup guy for Leon Boyd, who's probably working, trying to get ready for the 9th inning or possibly the 8th. Depending on what happens with Zulbarán. Here's the pitch and outside. No, they're going to give him the strike. Wow. It looked like it was a little bit outside, but I guess it did nick the corner. Now they change it. 2 balls and a strike. No, 2 balls and 2 strikes, pardon me. 2-2 the count for Alexei Bell, the right fielder. There's a shot to left field. Kemp is there. Kemp is going to make the catch. He's going to throw to third base. Nice swing, but he hit it right at the left fielder. Dwayne Kemp, who hasn't had a good night fielding, he got a good jump on this baseball, and he made sure He made sure he made the catch, and he got off a pretty nice throw to third base. Hit the cutoff. Who is it going to be tonight? Is it going to be Cuba, like it usually is? Or is it going to be the Dutch? The Netherlands? Thinking about World Baseball Championships. Now up, Frederick Cepeda. Big-time slugger. One of the most dangerous hitters in Latin America. Juan Carlos Sulbaran is pitching for the Dutch. Here's a windup, here's the pitch. Up high. Leon Boyd, he's almost ready. He's practically ready. Let's see what happens. On the mound, J.C. Sulbaran. Outside, says the umpire. 2 balls and no strikes. On deck will be Alfredo Despaigne. He's gonna have to get out the best hitters in Cuba. Another fastball and another one with good speed, just a little bit out of the strike zone. Three to nothing. 3 balls and no strikes to Frederick Cepeda. 2 outs, 2-1 the game. And they're going to call him a strike. Right through the outside corner. Nice speed on that fastball. Around 94, 95 on the speed gun. It's going to be now or never for Cuba. The tying run is in second base. A fly ball to left field. Kemp is going after it. Kemp is there. Kemp is going to make the catch. Wow. What a relief for the orange team. Sulbaran comes in, takes care of business. 2-1 Netherlands heading into the bottom half of the 8th inning. We're going to take another break, and we'll be right back.
Recuerden, fanáticos amigos, al finalizar el partido, no te pierdas el acto de clausura de este Mundial de Béisbol Panamá 2011.
Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, going into the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Dutch team, 3 outs away from their first World Championship. Cuba, Freddie Gonzalez, trying to make it 2-1 heading into the top of the 9th inning. He's got to try to get the 3 outs. He's got to try to make this Dutch team go through the 9th inning with a 1-run lead. Up to bat, Jonathan SCHOOP. youngster, 19 years old for SCHOOP. Part of the SCHOOP brothers from Curacao. Charlene plays second base. Jonathan plays third base. This is Jonathan. 19-year-old third baseman. He's probably going to try to work the count. Try to make him work. Try to make Gonzalez work for every pitch. He's in no rush. They're going to try to get another run for Leon Boyd, who's probably going to come in to pitch. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. ARRUEBARRUENA with a nice throw and out at first base. Cuba is going to try to go through this inning like if nothing happened. There's one out in the bottom of the 8th inning. And it looks like it's going to be Kalian Sams who's up to bat. Kalian Sams, who plays center field. They're not going to make an offensive replacement right now. He almost got hit. He's already going to hit once. That ball was way up. Kalian Sams is batting. He's 0 for 2 tonight. That ball really brushed his chin. I don't think he's too happy tonight with all those close pitches. Gonzalez deals as a ground ball to the shortstop. Fields cleanly, nice throw, and 2 outs. Rapidly, 2 outs away in the top of the bottom of the 8th inning. The Dutch have had 6 hits. They got 2 runs. Cuba has only hit. They've only gotten 3 hits all night. 3 hits and 1 run. That one lonely run was in the 4th inning. The Netherlands are all about pitching. They're all about pitching. They're all about speed. They run the bases well. Once in a while, they're known for hitting home runs. Cuba is a different team. They're a team made of pure all-stars from the National Series in Cuba. A lot of experience, a lot of talent, big-time hitters. They play defense. Their infield, every single one of them has a gun. The third baseman's got a gun. The shortstop has a nice throw. The second baseman, he's a world class. This team was made for winning championships, and tonight they're facing a team who had a pitcher, Robbie Cordeman, who really made it difficult for them to score any runs. Then we got to get a lot of credit to Juan Carlos Sulbaran, who came in to relieve Cordeman's in the top of the 8th inning and got 2 important outs when they had runner in second base. Swing and a miss. And it looks like he's going to change his bat. Either he's going to change his bat or maybe fix his bat a little bit. 3-quarter delivery. Really fooled Danny Rombley on that last pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He needs to get this out. He needs to get the last out in the 8th inning to at least give some sort of opportunity for Cuba to make a comeback. In the 9th inning, there's a shot to first base. Nice play here by the first baseman. 1, 2, 3, the Dutch go in order. In the bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Netherlands heading into the 9th inning. We'll be right back.
Recuerden, fanáticos amigos, al finalizar este encuentro, prepárense a disfrutar y apreciar el cierre La clausura de este Mundial de Béisbol Panamá 2011.
Le lanza Leon Boyd. Este tipo tiene el mismo apellido que yo. El cerrador de los...
Como los grandes, Duveil Center sigue demostrando de que con menos dinero mejoras tu hogar y el resto lo ahorras comprobado. Soy Duveil Center, pronto Duveil Center Document y Duveil Center Chitré. Informa. Bateador en turno por el número 54.
Where it's now or never, ladies and gentlemen, for the Cuban team. They're losing 2-1 against the Netherlands. The Dutch team thinking about its first world championship. Now pitching for the Dutch team. It looks like it's number 33, Juan Carlos Sulbaran. I thought they were going to use Leon Boyd, their closer. Sulbaran facing Despaign, and there's a shot down the third base line that foul territory. Sulbaran is only 21 years old. 21 years old for this kid from Curaçao, facing Despaign. Nice slider, and he swings and misses. He's in the hole. A ball and 2 strikes. I hear some people say Cuba in the stands. Others say Holanda. They yell Holland. There's a deep shot to left center field, but not enough. Nice play by Sams in center field. That ball looked like he had a shot of dropping between the center fielder and the left fielder, between left and center. He was looking for the gap. Nice swing. He just got too much air under it and gave the center fielder the opportunity to catch that ball. So there's one away. 2 outs. 2 outs from a championship for the Dutch team. Can you smell upset? Even though Cuba was the number 2 ranked team in this final, they're certainly the heavily favored team coming into this game. Now batting for Cuba, GOURRIEL. There's a shot. There's a base hit down the in between first and second base. He turns the base, and nice shot here. That's all Cuba needed. A runner on base. Now we will see Jose Abreu or Jose Abreu. Jose Abreu, who's been a home run champion in Cuba. He's been an MVP, a most valuable player in the Cuban National Series. He's 6'3", he's 240, he's only 24 years old. A lot of power, a lot of juice on his bat. And when I say juice, I only say it figuratively. You know how strict the IBAF and its members are against the whole anti-doping scenario. The Cubans thinking comeback. The Dutch, they're trying to close the door. There's going to be a change on the mound. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. There's been a pitching change. Now on the mound for the Netherlands, number 26, Tom Stoofbergen. Stoofbergen will be pitching for the Dutch. He's 2-0 in the series. He's got one save. One out in the top of the ninth inning. Hitting Jose Dario Abreu. There's a high fly ball to left field. Kemp is under it. Kemp is under it, and he catches the second out of the inning. He took a shot. He took a big shot to left field. Just got underneath it. Just got it underneath it. Just missed it about an inch. Two away, and believe it or not, the Dutch are one out away from their first World Championship. If you are listening in the Netherlands, if you're in Amsterdam, if you're in Rotterdam, if you're in Haarlem, you must be jumping. You must be feeling the excitement. You know we're close. There's a shot. There's a base hit between third and short. And Cuba is still alive in this World Baseball Cup. Nice hit here by Michel Enriquez. Tying run is at second base. There's two outs. Well, there's going to be another pinch hitter. Olivera is going to be hitting for Cuba. Well, the game's over, and Holland is world champions. Wow, the excitement. Can't believe it. The national team from the Netherlands has completed their fantasy run here in Panama. They just beat the Cuban team 2-1. We want to congratulate the Cuban national team for a well-played tournament. We also want to thank the Netherlands, obviously, the best team for this World Baseball Cup. They just completed their first World Baseball Championship. The victory goes to Robbie Korsman, and the save will go to Tom Stoofbergen, who's going to be credited with the save. Very good win, solid win all around, nice pitching. They dominated the game. The Dutch pitching staff tonight really dominated the game. They really took control of the game since the first few innings. Let's see the replay of that last out, that last historic out. There's a line drive to third base, and the ball game was over, folks. The SCHOOP boys celebrate. The Dutch celebrate. The world will be painted in orange. The baseball world with the Dutch national team. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. We did have to wait 4 hours for the rain to stop. We had a 4-hour rain delay, but it was worth it. I'm glad I got to be part of this historic moment for the Dutch baseball community. Want to send my congratulations to the Dutch Professional Baseball League, to the Dutch team, to Brian Farley, the manager, who really really knew how to work his pitchers. Really knew when to pull cordsmans at the right time. The kid, the 21-year-old kid from Holland, from the Holland team, Juan Carlos Sulbaran, did a nice job. And then in relief,
Vamos para allá también, David.
Tom Bergen closed out the game for the Orange team.